don't fit on the blanket, don't worry about it. Okay? All right. My name is Ranger Jenny, and I want to know where you guys are from. Why don't we start over here with this guy? Where are you from? Ohio. How about you, sir?
Jake, sit down.
He's from California, but he's moving to Pennsylvania.
Okay.
He's right in the process.
Okay, California. How about you? Texas. You good lady? Lots of movers, okay. And how about in the back, right over here? The Junior Ranger. You live right here in this state, okay. How about over here? California? And you? It's Californians, okay. And you in the yellow? Indiana, okay. In the back, over here, the lady in pink. Virginia Beach, okay. It's like people are traveling together today. Guess where I'm from? Do you think I live here? I don't. I do for now, but I'm actually from Oregon. Where's Oregon? Where? It's below Washington. Very good. We have some geographers in the group today. Nice job. All right. So you guys notice these big jugs of water here? If you're near a jug of water, why don't you pick that up for me and get a feel for it? And guess how much it weighs? You want to take a guess at how much that jug of water weighs?
100 pounds. 18.
18? Any other guesses?
10 pounds.
You're very close. It's about 8 pounds. A little over 8 pounds. Okay?
9 pounds.
Yeah. So you guys can pass that around a little bit if you want, so everyone can kind of get a feel for it. And I got another question for you. When's the last time you had a drink of water today? Okay, right over here. Just a little bit ago with your lunch, probably? Good. Okay. And in the red over here. Yes. 5 minutes to go. Very good. Okay, go ahead and put your hands down. Thank you. That's one thing I didn't talk about was if you guys want to answer one of my questions, what should we usually do? What do we do in school usually? We raise our hands. Good. We'll do the same thing here, just to keep it simple, okay? So why do you think I asked you about the last time you drank water was? Why is it important to drink water here in the Grand Canyon? Okay, remember this. Let me see this. Okay, there you go. Go ahead. So you stay hydrated. That's a fancy word. Very good. Why is it important to stay hydrated here in this particular spot? Yes, sir. It's hot and dry here. And do we live very low on the ground here, or low on the earth, or do we live high on the earth here in Grand Canyon? High. Do you know how high we are here from, say, the ocean level, the sea level?
2,000 feet.
More than that. Any other guesses over here? More than that. Over here?
5,000.
More than 5,000.
7,000.
Closer to 7,000 feet. Yes. And when we're up that high, the air is a lot thinner. You might have found it's a little harder to breathe up here if you're not used to being up this high. And so, take a deep breath. See if you can breathe okay. And so the air evaporates the water from our skin a lot faster. So that's what makes us want to drink more when we're up this high. All right. So we're gonna do a story today about water. It's called Snail Girl Brings Water. Okay? And what I do is I'm gonna hold it up after I read the page because I gotta see the words too, right? So then afterwards, so you guys can see the pictures, I'll kind of move it around like this so you guys can see the illustration. Sound like a deal? Okay. Snail Girl brings water. This is a Navajo tale. Does anyone know who the Navajo are?
You don't have to.
Yes, sir. Tribe of Indians. They live east of us. Long ago, it is said there was a mighty flood, and the people left their world, the fourth world, the underworld, and came up into the fifth world, the world we live in today. They found themselves on the shore of a great ocean. The people broke into groups by clan and went out to find new homes. What's a clan? What?
Type of.
It's a group. It's a group of people that are similar or have similar interests, or maybe are family members. So here's a group of people, a family, or a clan. Family would be another name for clan. Nice job. There's no fresh water to drink in this world, they said. They stood by the biggest body of water they had ever seen, but it was salty, and they couldn't drink it without getting sick. What are we going to do? They asked. First woman stood in front of the people and spoke. Someone will have to go back down to the old world below, back through the hole from which we emerged, to find some fresh water. If I could have just a little water, I could sing my water song and make many streams and rivers grow. First woman was the first human being ever made. She was tall, with strong arms and hands, and a gentle, kind face. Her eyes shone with wisdom and strength. She looked at the people, and her eyes fell on the group that was the Water Clan. One of you should go, she said. You should have brought the water with you when we left the old world. Who do you think the members of the Water Clan are? The water family. What kind of water creatures do we have here in the park? Yes, sir. We have fish. Good.
Scorpions.
Oh, but do they live in the water? No.
Dolphins.
Let's find out. Then a first woman made a beautiful water bottle out of seashells. Did I skip a page? No, okay. She put a stopper made of red coral in the opening, and she wove some rainbow into a loop to carry it. When she finished, she held it up in front of her and faced the Water Clan. So, who will go? She asked. Out of the group came two animal people, Otter and Beaver. Long, long ago, before the world was finished, they say there were animal people. Otter and Beaver walked upright on two legs, but they had wide tails like paddles, just like the tails they wear today. And they were great warriors. Otter said, "We are from the Water Clan. We're the best swimmers, and we should be the ones to go." First woman smiled at them proudly. She hung the water bottle around Otter's neck. Together, Otter and Beaver jumped into the water. They went down, 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 until they reached the bottom and walked along the ocean floor. So here's a picture of an otter. We possibly have otter in the park. Do they live on top of the roof or down in the canyon, do you think? Down in the canyon. What's down in that canyon?
Water.
Water. What's the name of that water?
The Colorado River.
The Colorado River. Good. But you know what? The otter has not been seen for about 30 years down along that river. So we're not really sure if they're there or not. So I'm going to pass that around. You take a good look at that little creature, and maybe if you get a chance to go along the Colorado River while you're here in Grand Canyon and you spot one, you would be the first person in 30 years to see an otter along the river. Okay, I'll have questions and comments in a little bit after we're done with our story. Soon they came to a valley of water lilies. There were lilies of every color. It was so beautiful that Otter and Beaver decided to stop. Beaver said, "We should take some of these flowers and plant them in our new world." "Good idea," Otter agreed. So Otter put down the bottle, and soon they were both covered from head to toe in water lilies, roots, and vines. When they had gathered all they could, they journeyed back to the world above. I almost forgot my beaver. We do have beaver. We do see them. When they came out of the water, the people waiting on the beach were amazed. Otter and Beaver looked like two trees coming out of the ocean. "It's us!" Otter yelled. The people cried, "Otter and Beaver have come back!" Everyone was excited. "Look what we found," Beaver said. "We're going to plant these here in our new home." First woman anxiously waited for the water bottle. Otter pulled and tugged at the roots and vines. "I've got it," he said. "It's here somewhere." But he looked and couldn't find it. "You have it, Cousin Beaver," Otter said. Together they pulled and tugged on the vines and flowers. They didn't find the bottle. "Oh no," cried Otter. "I think we forgot it down there." Otter's voice got smaller as he realized what they had done. First woman's eyes narrowed. This won't do at all. You two go away from here. I don't want to see you for a while. So Beaver and Otter waddled away, dragging their tails between their legs to plant their vines and flowers. Today we know that Otter and Beaver still surround themselves with water lilies and roots and vines. If you're finished looking at those pictures, you can just put them in a pile back up front here as they go around. All right. We still don't have any fresh water, First Woman said. She looked at the water clan and noticed Frog and Turtle standing tall and proud among the others. You two, you must go into the ocean and find the water bottle. Then you must find the hole leading to the fourth world and bring back some pure water. Frog and Turtle were the finest young warriors in the clan. They were also known as the most handsome. All of the women wanted to marry them. We'll help our cousins, Turtle said. We'll find that water bottle, Frog said. They jumped into the water and went down, down, down to the land at the bottom. They walked along the sand until they reached the valley of water lilies. Turtle saw a piece of rainbow in the sand. He reached down and pulled out the water bottle and tied it to his back. How about frogs? Do we have frogs here? We do. They live down near the river. And if you hear them, they might sound something like this. Sound like a frog? A little bit. Not as good as the real thing, huh? Let's try the other way. Does it sound better?
Yeah.
That sounds better. All right. You guys can try it after the story, okay? We'll have it up here for you. Let me show you a picture of our real frog.
Whoa.
The canyon tree frog. There he is. Yep, we'll pass it around. Let's start it over here this time. So you want to come grab it or pass this one over? Good. And what other creature did we just meet in the story?
Turtle.
In our case, it's a tortoise. What's the difference between a turtle and a tortoise? Does anyone know? Go ahead.
A tortoise is slower.
Tortoise is slower. Okay, any other ideas? Over here?
A tortoise lives on land and a turtle lives in the water.
Tortoise spends more of its time on land. Yeah, which makes sense around here because we have some water, but not a whole lot of water around here, right? Okay, I'm going to pass this one to the guy in the yellow here. Pass that around for me. All right, let's see what happens with frog and turtle. Tortoise. Together, frog and turtle journeyed down into canyons and over mountains until Turtle was so tired that he plopped down. I can't walk another step, Turtle groaned. My back is sore. It feels like the water bottle has worn a hole in my back. Frog looked at him and said, Turtle, there is a hole in your back. Turtle moaned. Frog, you go on without me. I'm going to wait here. And he wouldn't budge. All right, Frog said. You rest. And he tied the water bottle to his back and disappeared over the next hill. Turtle sat and rested. Then he had an idea. Turtle was an artist. He liked to make things. He found some seashells and began to put them together like pieces of a puzzle. He used some vines and seaweed to string them together, and to put them on his back in one big piece. He knocked on it, and it was solid as a rock. Then he had another idea. He gathered some lighter colored shells, put them together into the big piece, and hung it on his front. He attached it to the back, the shoulders, and the knees. Hey, Turtle said, shell art. He started to bubble with excitement. His arms and legs went into and out of the shell as he danced his first turtle dance. In the meantime, Frog was getting tired too. He found some bluish-greenish water. This looks clean enough, he said, and he filled up the bottle. The water bottle was so heavy that by the time Frog returned to Turtle, his knees had risen up to his shoulders, and his eyes were bulging out of his head. What happened to you? Turtle asked. Get this thing off me. It's so heavy that I can't stand up straight, yelled Frog. I'll carry the bottle, Turtle said. It can't hurt my back anymore. Look, shell armor. Turtle tied the bottle around his new shell. Together, Frog and Turtle went back up into the water. The people waited for them. Is that how Frog's eyes really bulge? Is because because he carried that heavy water bottle? For real?
No.
And is that how Turtle really got his shell?
No.
By piecing the little seashells together? No. We call that a creation myth. A creation myth. Let me see if I can find mine. Have you heard of the Jungle Book?
Yes.
With Baloo the bear and what's the cat's name? Or the puma. The panther. I forgot to. Bagheera. No, yeah, Bagheera. Okay. So the guy who wrote Jungle Book, his name is Rudyard Kipling, and he wrote some stories called the Just So stories, like how the leopard got its spots, and why the elephant has saggy baggy skin, or how the zebra got its stripes. And so they're kind of fantastical stories like this, explaining why those animals got to be the way they are. They didn't really get that way. It's just a kind of a fun story that we tell. Like, who has freckles? I've got tons of freckles. Look at your arms. You got freckles? So what if I said that the reason why you have freckles is because angels kissed you there? Is that really how we got our freckles?
No.
No, but it's kind of, but it's because of the sun, right? But it's kind of a fun story to tell. So we call that a creation myth. The people admired Turtle's shell armor and giggled at Frog's bulgy eyes. First woman opened the water bottle, and out came algae, bugs, worms, and seaweed. The water had turned brown. "Oh no," First Woman cried. "This isn't pure spring water. This is ocean water." She touched her finger to the coral stopper and tasted the water. "It's salty. You should have tasted it first." "It looked clean to me," Frog shrugged. "You two go away from here," First Woman said. "I don't want to see you for a while." Turtle and Frog sadly walked away, and to this day, Turtle has shell armor, and Frog's eyes bulge out of his head. First Woman was growing weary of the water clean's mistakes. She was not used to being this upset. "We still don't have any fresh water," she said. Someone tugged on her dress. First Woman looked down and saw a thin little girl with long, raven black hair. "I am Snail," the child said in a small, squeaky voice. "I'm from the Water Clan, and I'd like to help my people. I want to get the water." First Woman looked at the people, and the people looked at each other. Everyone knew that Snail was the slowest swimmer of the Water Clan. Nobody thought she would make it, but nobody else wanted to go. First Woman nodded. "You are very brave, Snail," she said, and she tied the bottle to Snail Girl's back. Snail slowly slipped into the great waters. She went down, down, down to the land at the bottom, her long black hair flowing behind her. Does a snail have long, flowing black hair?
Yeah.
No. Here, I'll show you what a snail really looks like. We have some in the park. This is the Knob amber snail. The Knob amber snail. You want to pass that around for me? All right, let's see if Snail is any more successful. Snail Girl went past the valley of water lilies, past the place where Turtle gathered the shells for his armor. Okay, buddy. Let's pass it around, okay? Let's pass it around, and let's keep it quiet so everyone else can hear as well. Okay. Turtle gathered the shells for his armor, past the place where Frog had gotten to the seawater. Finally, Snail came to a hole in the sand, with bubbles coming out of it. She went into the darkness of the sand, deeper and deeper, back to the fourth world. There she found some pure water. She tasted it, and it was delicious and fresh. There was just enough to fill up the water bottle. She carefully placed the coral stopper tightly in the bottle. She went back up through the hole and made her journey home. The full moon was shining when Snail Girl came out of the water. She had been gone for such a long time that no one waited for her at the seashore. Slowly, Snail Girl walked up the hill where she made her home. She was so tired that she didn't feel the rainbow loop coming loose and the water bottle falling off her back. She was so worn out that she didn't hear the bottle dragging in the dirt and rocks. She was so sleepy that she didn't notice the water trickling out. Snail Girl went to her home and took the bottle off her back. She looked at it and couldn't believe her eyes. There was a hole in the bottom of the bottle. "Oh no, it's empty," she cried. She was so exhausted that she couldn't even cry. She fell to the ground, fast asleep. Uh-oh. First woman woke up from a dream. I dreamed Snail has returned, she whispered. First woman believed in the power of dreams. She ran down to the ocean's edge. She followed Snail Girl's trail up the hill. Halfway up, she saw something shining at her feet in the moonlight. She stopped and reached down to touch it. It was wet. She tasted it. Fresh water, she said, and she breathed a sigh of relief. Snail did it! Long ago, they say everyone had a magic song. First woman began to sing her magic song, and the small drops of pure water began to grow. They turned into a trickle at first, then a stream, then a river. The river got longer and wider and deeper and faster, and soon the biggest river anybody had ever seen rushed into the ocean. First woman looked at the river and smiled, and then she remembered Snail. First woman ran to Snail Girl's home and woke her up. Snail opened her weary eyes and saw it was First Woman, and she said, "All the water is gone. Look at the bottle, there's a hole in it." She began to cry. The First Woman's eyes lit up. "Come with me, Snail," she said, and they went outside. A beautiful river ran down the hill to the ocean. "You did it, Snail," First Woman said. "You carried the water all the way back from the old world. And even though a hole bored through the bottle as you walked up the hill, I got here in time to take a seed of water and make it grow." Snail smiled. Snail Girl and First Woman stood together near the top of the hill and watched the sun rise over the river. As the people awoke and came out of their homes, they were amazed at what they saw. They whooped and hollered with joy and happiness. The people held a giving thanks ceremony. Everyone sat in a circle, and Snail was the honored one. First woman spoke. "Snail, you are very brave, and we thank you. From this day on, you will carry the water bottle on your back as a symbol of your great journey. You will leave a trail of moisture behind you every place you travel. This will be a message to everyone that our pure water is precious, and we must take care of it." And so it was from that day on. So next time you guys see a snail, see if you can see that little trail of moisture and the little water bottle on its back. Yeah, have you seen that before? All right. What I'd like to do next is get us up and moving a little bit, and we're going to do a little relay with our jugs of water. How much do those weigh again? About 8 pounds. About 8 pounds. How do you think people got water here at Grand Canyon when they first lived here? Because we're way up here. We're way up here, and the water, the river, is way down at the bottom of the canyon. How do you think? Yes, sir.
They must have built stairs out of the rock.
Stairs out of the rock. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. Over here.
They could have brought water into the canyon.
Okay, they would have had to haul it in. Very good. So the very first peoples that were here, like the Navajo people and the Hopi people, the Havasu people, the first peoples, Native Americans, they had to probably walk quite a long distance and fill up their jars with water. It was a very hard task. How easy is it for you to get water?
Very easy.
Very easy. How do you get it?
We just have to go to the refrigerator and press one button and then something comes.
Something comes out, right? You press a button or you turn on the faucet and there it is, right? So not so easy for the first peoples. How about the first settlers? Somebody was saying over here they had to haul it in. That's exactly what they did. They hauled it in on the railroad. You guys seen the train over here?
I was on it.
The train, yep. They hauled water in on the train. And the other thing they did was if you go over 2 houses over, there's the Hopi house next to you. We're at the El Tovar Hotel. Go to the Hopi house, and then on the other side of the Hopi house, 3 buildings over, is the Bear Camps gift store and museum. And if you look on the porch of Bear Camps, you're going to see a pump. Maybe you've seen it over there. A water pump. Do you think there's a well down there to pumping the water? Actually, no. This is really hard rock under here. You have to drill like way, way, way down into the earth to get any water. So what they did was have a big tank of water that they got from catching like rainwater and snow melt and stuff. And it melted all into this big tank, and that's what they were pumping out there. So after here, if you go over and watch the Hopi dance, after you go watch the Hopi dance presentation, go over to beer camps and look for that pump, and you'll see it over there. So it's one of the early ways to get water.
Are they doing it now, the Hopi thing?
In a little bit, yep. So you guys should probably head over there after we are finished with our program here, which we almost are. So I see a lot of you guys have your Junior Ranger books out. That is very good. If you haven't already, you might take a little bit of time to think about a couple things that you learned today about water, like how much a jug weighs, or how the first peoples got their water, where the first settlers got their water here into the canyon. But I told you we were going to do this little activity, so I'm gonna count us off by twos. Can we handle that? Do you guys remember a number? Yeah? Let's everybody hold up one fist. Hold up a fist. So when I give you your number, you're gonna either hold up a 1 or a 2. And you keep that fist up so you don't forget what your number is. Okay? You guys participating over here? Okay. 1, 2. 1, 2. Hold up your 1. Hold up your 2.
Hold up your fist.
There you go. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Where did I get you? 1. Right here in the blue. You are in the blue. You're in a 1. 2. 1. No. Okay. All right. I need all of my 1s right here in a nice line. All of my 1s. Check your little fist out. See what number you got in there.
Zig,
1.
you're a 2.
All the 2s.
Yeah,
You
she
just leave
said
them there.
two.
I'll take care of those, okay? All of my 2s. Check. Look at your fist. See what you got. All of my 2s. You're over here. So 1s, 2s. I know I got more 2s than this. So just leave that on the ground for right now. How about you be a 2? 1s, 2s. Oh, there we go. Thanks, parents, for giving those out. Okay. Let's have you be a 2. Let's have you be a 2. Right over here. There you go. All right. Let's get our water bottles. Oh, thanks for being a helper. Thank you. I'll take that. Thank you, sir.
James.
So we talked about how the settlers and the first peoples had to carry water. Do you think they carried around 8-pound jugs?
Yes. Oh, bigger one.
Bigger ones of that. People today still carry around big jugs of water. People in Asia, in Africa, they carry as much as 44 pounds of water. Think about the luggage you brought here to Grand Canyon. Maybe if you flew here on the plane, how many people flew on a plane? Anyone? Mostly cars. You flew on a plane. Do you have big luggage with you? Luggage weighs about, the big full-size suitcase weighs about 45 pounds. How many jugs do you think it takes to make 45 pounds?
One.
It's around 5 of those jugs, just very roughly estimating. Around 5 or 6 jugs, okay? So imagine carrying around 5 to 6 jugs of water to bring to your house to use to take showers, to flush the toilet, to wash your dishes. How many gallons of water do you think a person goes through per day?
80.
Very close. 100. About 100 gallons a day. That's a lot of water. Yeah. So let's think about how much water we're using when we're doing this relay race here. Okay, and think about maybe sometimes we can conserve a little more than we do. Like turn the faucet off when you're brushing your teeth. Or take a little shorter shower or bath. Because water, you think water is just always here?
Yeah.
No, sometimes we have droughts. Sometimes it's salty. sometimes water doesn't work very well for us. Okay, so we have to take care of water, so water takes care of us. So we got our relay teams. What you're going to do is run down. I want to see if you can pick up both of those. That would be about 16 pounds of water. See if you can bring that 16 pounds back to your next teammate, put it on the ground, run back to the end of the line, and have a seat so we know you're done. Okay? You guys ready? You ready for this?
Where are we gonna go?
You're going to run right down there, pick up your two jobs, bring it back to your teammates, put it down for them, and then go back to the end of the line. Just leave it on the ground, you'll be fine. Okay, on the count of 3, you guys. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh. Go ahead. You go. Come back. Sorry. If you want to hand it, you did. There you go. Oh, nice job, guys. Okay, end of the line, and then have a seat. Nice job.
Oh, my
Nice job. Those are happy, aren't they? Wait till he comes back. Keep going. Good job. Bring it back to your teammates. Oh, that's okay. Keep it going.
Yes.
That's all right.
I keep
There you go. Yeah, maybe tag their hand. There you go. Who's next? Who's next over here? Help him out. How about you guys work together? You work together. You take one, he takes one. There you go.
Over here.
Right over here, sweetie.
All right, Veronica. Come on. We gotta get her to sign it.
Oh, that's okay. Just take one. Or have mom help. There you go.
There you go. Okay?
Nice job. Good job, team. Is this team done?
Yes.
Good.
I'll help you.
That's okay. That's okay. I'll help you out. I'll help you, okay? Here we go. I got one.
Daddy,
Dave, you get him.
I got one.
Gemma, hang on.
Going all the way.
All the way down to the tree, Dave. No, Gemma, stop.
Nice job. Thank you. Teamwork. Woo, look at you. Nice job. Oh, my hardest worker.
Go sit down with your
Very good. Give me a high
Sit in that
five.
one.
High five.
Veronica, high five.
Woo, good job.
Okay, go sit down.
All right, we all done? Did we make it? How do your muscles feel? Is that a lot of water? That's a lot of water. Give yourselves a pat on the back. Good. Okay. You know what I want to do now is you guys stay in your lines, and I'm going to come to you. Everybody gets a sticker today for participating. And if you guys have your Junior Ranger books, I can sign those. If you need sworn in, we can do that. If you need a badge,
I got it, Jane.
or anything else about the Junior Ranger program, we can send you over to the table over there near the Hogan House. Okay? So let me grab my stickers.
Sticker, baby.